Ben Rogers, this is the Property Diary. This is Monday the 20th of May. We're just off to the Berkshire property meet. We're just sitting on the M25 in the roadworks. My cameraman for the day is Daniil. Say hello, Daniil.
Hello.
And sleeping in the back, let's have a look at him. Is he awake? No, look, he's awake. We've got Anthony as well. Say hello, Anthony.
Hello.
So, what do we want to talk about today? Just a couple of things that have been going on today. First of all is a deal that's been sort of meandering along for a little while now. This is a property that we've been speaking to the guy who is the brother of the sister who's trying to sell the house, and there's a lead that came through to us from a friend that we know from a networking event. Anyway, long story short, there's just a couple of questions he keeps on coming back with. One of the first question was, and if I just bring it back up to speed, this is a property that is in negative equity fairly significantly because of a service charge of 14 grand that they didn't pay, and it then got the mortgage company ended up paying half of it. They're also in negative cash flow each month to the tune of about £200 a month, and they've got tenants in the property. And blimey, me, one of the questions they asked me today was, just out of interest, is there any money coming to us when you buy the property from us? So I kind of stifled a laugh and said, in all reality, probably not. So a bit of a reality check there. And what was the other question that came back to us? The other question was the classic one, which is, once you've actually bought this, is it still going to be in my sister's name? Well, yeah. And I had to go through the process of explaining again why we would be keeping the property in their name, why it's really difficult for us to get mortgages these days, why we won't be putting it in our name just yet, and at some stage in the future the property go into somebody else's name and it'll come off their name. So it's quite interesting. This has been rattling on now for a little while. You've heard me talk about it on a previous property diary. I'm sure that it'll carry on rattling around, and eventually they'll get to the point where they've had enough and I'll end up taking the property up. So that's that. Now the other one I wanted to talk to you about is a friend of mine that I've known for quite some time. I've known her in the property circles. We've done some training with each other on different stuff. Heck, we even went skiing with each other just recently on a group of property skiers and snowboarders. Anyway, this comes down to a conversation we had on the slopes, probably with a beer in our hand, or what do they call it, a vin chaud or something, just relaxing. And she's saying she's got a couple of properties that ideally she'd like to sell, move on, do something with, and they're not in the right place for her geographically, and with what she wants to do herself, again, she wants to buy properties local to where she lives as well. So they just kind of don't tick all the boxes for her at the moment. So it's quite interesting. Here we are, we're in May. I went skiing in March. A couple of months later, got a phone call from her today saying, look, about now it's time I want to do something about it. It turns out it is a couple of properties. I just want to share this because you don't know who you might end up working with. You don't really know what the reasons are as to why people want to get rid of their properties. And the conversation I've had with this lady is that she knows the right thing for her to do is just keep hold of these properties long term, and they will turn themselves round and she will make money from them. But right now, I think both of them are empty. Both of them are kind of there or thereabouts, probably within about 10 grand worth of what their mortgage is. So they're the right side of negative equity, but they're about 10 grand equity in it. But it just is giving her too much negative life energy at the moment. So the right decision for her is to pass the property on, and for me to take those properties from her. I explained that what we could do is work with her so that we could work with her, show her, do the stuff with her so that she could keep them. But that's not really what she wants to do right now. And my role is just to find out what the problem is and solve the problem. The problem for her right now is she wants rid of these properties, and she's very, very keen for me or somebody else to take them on. Well, guess what? I'm very keen to take them on. So we'll do that very, very quickly. We've agreed that she'll make the next mortgage payment. Gives us a bit of flexibility through till about July. So that's fine. Here we are, middle of May. That gives me 6 weeks to go and find a tenant buyer. Perfect. There's a bit of work that needs to be done to the property, probably about £2,000 worth. Do you think a tenant buyer of mine will go in there quite happily and do that work? Absolutely. redecoration, recarpet, maybe even a bit of what do they call it? Not painting. God, my mind's gone to mush. You know, where you put plaster on it. Plastering. That's the word I'm looking for. Might do some plastering as well. So that's it, Grace. You can get the keys back from the letting agents who have been looking after it for her. It's empty. We can get straight onto it. Send her over the heads of terms in the morning, and we've pretty much got a done deal there. The other property that she's got was actually hopefully going to be sold at auction today. Guess what? If it doesn't get sold at auction, we'll be looking after that one as well. So there you go. That's Ben Rogers. That's the property diary. We're off to the Berkshire property meet. Be interesting to see who we meet up with and catch up with tonight. Heck, if you're not going to networking meetings, you really should be. Berkshire's a biggie. There'll be 200 people on there. There's lots of new networking events coming on. You've got Simon Zucchi's pin meetings. There's 40 odd of those around the country. You've got Rob Moore and Mark Homer and the Progressive Property guys. They're starting a whole bunch of new ones. I think there's 5 starting off this month. I think about another 30 that are coming online. Get out there and network. Okay, speak to people. So there you go, from me, Daniil and Anthony. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, Angie's now fast asleep in the booth. We'll speak to you tomorrow night. Take care.